I'd say to Gress. Each step against sandy ground felt as though there was nothing beneath my feet, and the bones holding me upright felt like nothing substantive at all. What I knew was that the Krev had never given us a break before, so this would be a singular occasion if they did demonstrate they cared about our lives at all. We didn't deserve the hatred and callousness they showed us. I could feel the warm breath dampening the cloth near my lips, the mask hiding my scratched-up features. I found my mind wandering during the punishing walk, thinking about how much of the opulence we'd enjoyed on Earth was gone forever. Mayor Hathaway called me out for the old Earth songs we came up with, but there weren't exactly record labels or studios here to create new anything. Not movies, not TV, not books, not paintings, not music. There were, perhaps, 3 or 4 musicians that'd play on the street as a hobby, but there were no full-time entertainers. Everyone needed to directly contribute to the city. The biggest events of the years were the school plays, which turned out thousands for the live entertainment. I still remembered auditioning to play Hamlet and winding up as King Claudius instead. Half a millennium and hundreds of stars away, the bard's work survives. It's funny because I used to wonder why they taught us the arts at all. Miss Quispe was right when she said when we stop creating, we stop being human. Have we stopped being human without our expression? I remembered what the subjects taught us in school, where we'd made a few crude instruments that children could tinker with as some semblance of our heritage. My fingers twitched in real time, recalling the fluid movements I'd learned against the piano. Sometimes I found myself walking down there to play a mournful piece. Those were bygone days, though, and it wouldn't demonstrate my loyalty to the colony. I didn't apply to be a teacher, after all, and we all had our roles. There were other things with more substance. Because of our small population, it was agreed that the next generation needed to share a language, which after much debate was set as English. Secondary languages were optionally available under AI instruction for cultural preservation. You remember Crisanto, Charisse? I croaked, struggling to place one foot in front of the other. He refused to take a job. Wrote stories. Sent them around on holopads. I liked his one story where we found a way to make ourselves invisible. Mayor threatened to kick him out if he didn't work. Then he was too tired to write. Dried up, just like we all dry up. The security guard escorting me jostled my elbow. You're delirious, Taylor. Maybe we should turn back. Fuck off with that shit. We already made it this far. I've just been thinking about how little career diversity there is here. Because of the Krev, we all have to work toward the colony. There's only a few thousand of us. We don't have influencers or professional athletes anymore. Imagine spending your life playing a game. Wouldn't fulfill me, but sounds a lot more fun than our life. Us, adults, should have a pickup soccer game in the streets for old times, like the kids do. I thought we finally agreed to call it football. And to use the metric system, we stopped calling it soccer, and American culture is dead forever. I guess. Charisse failed to react in time as my legs gave out, and I face-planted in the dirt. My head nearly collided with the cane. Somewhere along the way, my grip on the walking aid had loosened so much that it was ineffectual. I cursed my weakness, getting wrapped up in old memories during a pivotal time. Sand would be smeared all over my outfit when we reached the landing pad. The security guard placed her hand on my back while using the other arm to slowly lift me up. I struggled to all fours and limped onward while keeled over. Are you all right, Taylor? You can't meet Gress like this. We shouldn't have let you go in the first place, Charisse shouted. My eyes rolled back in my head as I saw the landing pad in reach. I can hear his ship. Walking is the hard part. I can talk just fine. Maybe if he sees me like this, it puts it in perspective. Assuming good old Gress gives a rat's ass about me. I'm not convinced they feel anything toward us. Remember how that Krev tried to take advantage of us last time we came to bargain. I know we don't have any negotiating power. We have no choice but to hope they feel something. For once, we could use some fucking help. I think he'll hear in my voice how awful that accident was, how terrible I feel about letting our obligations to our landlords exceed worker safety, partially for personal gain. I'm a dick, really. This is my fault. Whatever you say, and I'm going to fix it. The guard touched her ear with a frown. Mayor Hathaway is saying that you need to pull yourself together, that you can't be moping around out of guilt right now. He also says if you collapse again, I'm taking you back and he's coming up here himself. Already suiting up. Brandon's the one who said he needed me, so let me do what's necessary. I'm not a fucking quitter. Get me to the pad and I'll do my job. I know my orders. You were seriously injured, and other people were killed. I have all of my limbs, and you'd think I could make them work for 10 minutes. Give me a break. We need to talk after this. I've never seen you like this in years, Taylor. I'm worried about your stability, and I don't think you should be anywhere near the Krev. We take you to the landing pad, and you're sitting down and saying a few lines. Don't you dare undermine me in front of Gress, Charisse. Your job is to protect me and hold a fucking gun, not to schmooze these bastards like you're suddenly a diplomat. You know what? You are being a total asshole. I'll let it slide because you're hurting and not right upstairs, but you're not going to take it out on me again. We clear? Crystal? I managed to shuffle the last few steps to the landing pad before setting my backside down on a crate with relief. My head definitely was causing some issues in my basic functions, but I could think clearly enough to know what I needed to tell Gress. In a world where the Krev could empathize and have any pity on a predator's culture, I'd spit back everything I'd been ruminating on in my own mind about the lost arts and our shell of a life. That was the one thing we could never tell aliens with side-facing eyes. We remembered how the prey life forms had reacted to what we were before. There wasn't much I knew about the Krev Consortium, other than we had some vague notion that it was a collection of the Krev and 5 other species, conveniently all prey. Why are we the only ones so unlucky to have our eyes in this position? Why did it have to matter so much that the entire Federation couldn't bear to look at us? These masks are hiding that we are monsters, repugnant monsters to everyone up in the stars. I thought back to the wounded human faces in the infirmary, bearing wounds, hiding all of the tumultuous emotions that coursed through my own blood. Some of the binocular eyes that I knew from our small settlement were closed forever because of the accident, and I couldn't forget that. I couldn't unsee the mental images, even the ones that I hadn't laid eyes on myself. Friends and colleagues, the last of our near-extinct species, the last hope for the Homo sapiens lineage to continue.